Get your ass out here!
Get out of here. Go!
Are you really sure your home is as safe as you think? Because it turns out some burglars have 4 legs, not just 2. Today we are going to look at 30 crazy times where animals got a bit too adventurous and ended up causing quite a stir inside people's homes. Let's jump right into it. These people have had their home absolutely wrecked to pieces, and they are clearly scared and hesitant as the culprit might still be inside. On their guard from all angles, they venture inside to face the invader, a turkey. The animal seems ready to leave as soon as they come in. The officer is trying his best to apprehend the home invader with a special tool, and he seems to have his hands full as the turkey is also trying its best to get away. The lady keeps herself outside with her camera angled right at the turkey because she wants everyone to see what went down at her home.
It flew through the window. That poor turkey, though.
Finally, after a long struggle of hands versus claws and a beak to be reckoned with, the officer manages to bag the animal and put it inside the net to secure it. But as soon as he is about to step his foot out with the animal, it breaks loose, runs back inside, and breaks yet another window before flying out the same window.
Did it just run out? Oh, it's out.
A little girl and her brother can be seen in their home doing what kids do best, nothing, and innocently walking around and watching TV. The girl goes outside, and as you can see, the door is open. Where they live is right next to a forest, and we all know that it is home to more species than you can count. After a while, when the little girl is still outside, loud bangs and noises can be heard coming from the porch area, and after a while a deer comes running in and goes straight for where the little boy is sitting. It narrowly misses him and dives down behind the sofa, prompting the little guy to make a run for it as well. That turkey was a small animal, but this home has had the privilege of being invaded by a 9-foot-long massive alligator that is lounging about as if it's been living here for generations. The owner here was just as surprised as us when he saw a massive alligator sleeping in his lounge area and immediately called in the authorities. They managed to get a hold of the animal by tossing a rope around its jaws and then sliding it down on its neck. As soon as the noose is tightened, the animal starts throwing itself around, and the scene turns into a rodeo, except this time there are no cows, but an alligator that could hunt and eat a cow instead.
Tight and gets to work.
At this point, the best they could do is just drag the animal out because of the tight space they're in, and it could potentially break the bones in their legs with that massive tail it uses to swim across the water like a torpedo, not to mention break anything further in the house. A homeowner called in the cops when someone broke into their home, and the officer responding wanted to see hands when he peeked through the window with his gun drawn. He had no clue that the intruder was born without hands, and instead boasted a nice set of shiny black hooves. He tells the suspect to come out as the house is surrounded.
Use your hands! Use your hands! There's someone inside. Hey, we got the house surrounded. Come on out.
With shields in tow and guns drawn, the officers break into the house and yell at the suspect, not knowing that it is an animal. As they run through the house ready to face the criminal, they finally realize that it is just a deer, and are asked to stand down immediately.
Police, let me see your hand. That's a deer, it's a deer, it's a deer. It's a deer, stand down.
Later, they can be seen trying to escort the deer out of the house using their torches to light the way for it, but the confused animal has no idea where to go, as all it can probably see are flashing lights, and it keeps bumping into walls, until finally the animal is drawn to the open door and makes its escape out of the house. These people got a surprise of a lifetime that just might have left them in shock and trauma for the rest of their lives. Hiding in their home's false ceiling were snakes that fall down like sacks of stones, leaving everyone horrified and screaming. The authorities themselves seem a bit confused as to how they should tackle the situation. They grab hold of one of the snakes and start pulling it back down before it escapes like the others, and it is very clear that even pulling the snake down like this is a hard thing to do, as it takes two people to even budge it a little. A peaceful day in this home goes south when a deer bursts through the door and knocks the glass down as it does. It sends the house dog running and people screaming as the deer struggles to find any traction it can on the slippery flooring. What is more surprising is that the glass did not even break, it just opened up. As the homeowners stand frozen where they are to not provoke the animal any further, the deer starts moving to get out of here, but still cannot find any traction under its hooves. While all of that is happening, the woman starts calling 911. And the way things are moving, the cops will probably get here on time. A bear is somewhat of a normal occurrence now, as these guys are always seen barging into or near homes in their quest for food. Here is one that made its way into a garage that was opened and helped itself to the dog's food, which was just lying about. The brave lady who is recording everything takes things into her own hands as she tries to shoo the animal away while filming it from a safe distance. The bear starts moving as it does not want to see what else this lady is made of.
Hoping to get another crack at that dog food spilled all over. Go, get. That's Windex she sprayed.
When the bear is near the garage door, her light bulb lights up with a brilliant idea, and she shuts the door down, which scares the bear away, and off it goes into the forest. She says her goodbyes to the bear and safely manages to scare it away. Baboons are just a menace to any society they go into, as you can probably see here as these guys storm this house from every angle. One of them slides down the roof as if it is a ride, while the other bigger one climbs into the window as if it was opened just for it. The person recording goes underneath the window and starts yelling at them to get out, and you can see just how many were already inside and probably looting the place of any possible food items they could get their hands on.
Bow! Ooh. Check there, check there. Get out of there! Get on out of there!
When he peeks through the screen doors, it is apparent that there are a lot more still roaming inside this house. They pick up a broom to try and scare the animals out of the house. They muster up courage because baboons are not easy to scare.
Check his haters.
Eating chicken.
Here we have some baboons in a kitchen, just hanging out. Hey, Ted!
He begins rushing behind the animals, and they start running around, trying to find their way around and out of the house, and so far everything seems to be going perfectly as the animals are running away from him and not at him.
Get out of here! Huh? You wanna play with my piece of cat, yo? Get your ass out of here! Get your ass out of here! Come on! I said, get your freaking ass out of here!
Later, he encounters one baboon sitting in the bathroom and tries to get it to leave, but that was a situation he did not want to make worse by any means, so he leaves himself.
So now, get out that door. Out that door. Go. Out the door. I'm gonna step out for a second. You just take care.
This is straight out of a Disney movie with hundreds of birds swarming around a house before filtering in through the chimney. They go inside the house as if it was a giant nest shared by all of them.
Hundreds of birds swarm a house. Then they do something amazing. They fly right into the chimney. It's an invasion.
The birds fill up the house, clinging to the walls, trying to nest themselves in. Interestingly, they are not here for the food, but probably just couldn't resist an open invitation to explore.
They're lining the windowsill with wings furiously flapping. They also attach themselves to the ceiling.
What starts as playful time with the babies takes a turn for the worse. Right behind their backs is a slithery friend, making its way across the room. It's a nightmare scenario for any mother with a curious baby oblivious to the lurking danger.
These moms have their hands full, taking care of 2 babies and a toddler behind them. There's a slithering snake in the kitchen. It's the little girl.
At first, when the little girl warns them, they think it's a joke. But when Mom checks, the situation quickly turns serious. She realizes that her little girl's warning was real this time.
The kid ain't kidding. Moms jump up and run away, screaming. It happened during a play.
The husband rushes in upon hearing the screams and heroically picks up the snake with his bare hands, thwarting the potential danger to everyone, especially the babies.
Rachel's husband Adam was home and saved the day. Posted the video on Facebook where it's getting quite the reaction.
In this peaceful home, a monitor lizard has found its way into the bathroom. Authorities are on the scene trying to capture the intruder as swiftly as they can. A man skillfully uses a noose to get a hold of the lizard behind the toilet. He successfully secures the animal, but you wonder how such a large creature sneaked in unnoticed. A lady hears a strange sound coming from the attic, piquing her curiosity, but the creature in question was outside. She sees a mother raccoon carrying her babies over the fence and into her house.
Born babies.
No, no, no!
And she couldn't believe it when she saw the animal climbing over the fence and then entering her house, coming right in.
She sets up a camera for further investigation and discovers the raccoon's entry point into her attic. The raccoon squeezes into the attic through a small opening, making herself feel right at home.
And there she is, making herself right at home. Inside Edition's night camera caught her scavenging around.
When the man pries open the floorboard, the mother raccoon bolts into the trap set for her. Her babies are well cared for, and the entire family is safely relocated.
She pries open the floorboard, and the mother takes off, running straight into the trap. Her babies are safely removed and placed in a carrying case.
A woman parks in her garage only to be met by an unexpected visitor, a bear. It climbs up to her car window, looking around the garage, while she remains inside her car, frightened.
Oh my freaking bear. Get out of my garage.
The bear then walks behind the car, blocking her exit from the garage. This bear seems unafraid of a confrontation and just wants to explore further.
Oh my god. Bear.
A possum sends a little girl screaming. When the family checks, they find it strolling around her room. The possum puts up a fight, but the big brother, prepared for the task, tries his best to get rid of the unwelcome guest.
What happened?
Imagine walking into your kitchen to find a bear snacking in the dark. The owner quietly films the bear from afar, creating a tense and awkward silence. The bear eventually makes its way to the exit. The owner ensures it doesn't return by closing the door behind it. However, the bear lingers on the porch. At first glance, this living room seems empty, but soon a bear emerges from behind the kitchen island, searching for food.
Living room. But, this is where it gets a little interesting. When we got back from
The bear stands up on the shelf, its nose guiding it toward the food. Acting as if it owns the place, the bear is oblivious to the sleeping owners. The owners had left the garage door open, which is where the bear entered from.
Mr. Bear comes on in and counter-surfs for a little bit while Hank Sherman and his friend Bobby Hardin are in the other.
Cleverly, the bear opens the fridge door, as if it's done it before.
Sitting on the counter, so he decides to open the fridge for a midnight snack. I called the Placer County Sheriff.
In a brave move, the owner opens the front door and escapes, leaving it open for the bear, which takes the hint and leaves.
He was able to free the bear by opening the front door.
As far as safety goes, locking doors is number one. That's paramount.
After a heavy flood, people thought the worst was over. But when they returned home, they found a magnificent tiger sleeping inside their house. They were too scared to make a noise. All they could do was observe. The savannah heat drives even big cats to seek shelter. In an open house in the jungle, a pride decides to rest under the house's shade. The owner encounters them, separated only by a thin glass, but manages to scare them off. Alert and unsettled, the lions don't go far and settle right down in front of the porch, keeping an eye on the man. His next attempt to scare them might not be as successful. Another man has a predatory issue, this time with a bear inside his house. The homeowner tells it to leave, but the confused bear doesn't quite get the message.
Go on, that way. Go. Get out of here. Go on.
After much persuasion, the bear exits through the front door, with the owner ensuring it actually leaves and doesn't linger at the door.
Get out of here. Go. Go on.
In the dead of night, a giant bear visited this home, stealthily making its way into the kitchen. With a keen sense of smell, it knew there was food in the fridge. The bear stood up against the fridge, using its height to its advantage as it started investigating. Effortlessly, it opened the fridge, using its claws as if they were fingers, peering inside before advancing towards the camera to further explore the kitchen. A mountain lion boldly entered an apartment complex, finding comfort inside as it looked around before settling down near the corner window. Seemingly unfazed by any barriers, it made itself at home. As night transitioned to day, the lion stayed in that cozy spot, seemingly preferring the warmth of the indoors to the snowy outside. The moment people in the room noticed the animal in the corridor and quickly shut the door, the lion seized the opportunity to leave. The homeowners emerged, shocked by the unexpected guest. Turning to the more heartwarming side of these encounters, a deer casually walked into a house through an open screen door. The homeowner, instead of driving it away, kindly fed it bread, which the deer happily accepted.
Yeah, she eats this wheat bread. Yes, guys, I see her.
The bond between them grew stronger as the deer returned on another day, and the homeowner invited it inside once more. The deer followed them into the house like a new pet.
I know, I did.
Other female deer joined the first, enjoying the fruits, a treat they had likely never experienced before. The scene was joyful as the animals seemed to relish this unique interaction.
And yes, Sandra Faith. Yes. And my Sandy and my McKins. Sandy, girl, why you being mean to...
Here's why you should never leave your windows open at night, especially those in the kitchen, as the enticing smells might invite a bear that's hungry enough to take the risk and climb in through the very window you left open. A curious bear looks around and discovers what appears to be a bag of cat food, swiping it out of the cabinet. Afterward, the animal wanders around before exiting through the window, only to come right back inside. This adventure leads the bear to start roaming around the house, and it finds a stairwell leading upstairs. It calmly ascends to the next floor, where everyone is probably asleep. Here, a daring animal, not afraid of heights or humans, scaled a wall and entered a house through an open window. The fearless creature made its way inside, searching for something. It later climbed back out, hanging from the small window, and was then seen entering another window on the ground floor, tearing up the screen in the process. Reports suggest it went to these lengths just for some pork chops. In another instance of literal breaking and entering, a big grizzly bear broke open a door and sauntered in as if it owned the place. This incident shows that sometimes even locked doors cannot guarantee safety from determined wildlife. This story involves a badger that the homeowner knew all too well. This badger had entered her house multiple times before, going through her trash and her fridge, including on this occasion. The mess it left behind was evident. The badger managed to get inside the house through the cat flap, which puzzled the owner considering the badger's size compared to the flap. Clearly, the lure of food can drive animals to remarkable feats. In India, a leopard found its way into a house, leading to authorities being called for help. They did an excellent job sedating the leopard and then safely rescuing it from the home before releasing it back into the wild. Another bear, this time attacking a home through the kitchen window, managed to tear it apart and grab something from a shelf right in front. Despite seeming too large for the window, the bear was not deterred. Once outside, the bear returned and repeated its actions, standing in the window and grabbing what appeared to be a packet of food from the same spot as before. A farmer, while away on vacation, checked his home camera due to a disturbance. To his surprise, he saw his animals had broken into the house, seemingly having a party, before he returned from his holidays.